Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Spang here bringing you another World of Tanks gameplay commentary. This is going to be a game from a buddy I have not seen a replay from in a good while, Mr. Never Aim. He is platooned up with two of his buddies in Object 140s, but he is driving the STB-1. This is going to be a 9.2 version game, and it's going to be standard battle on Ensk. Let us just bring up the size of that map. There we go. And if we lose this, I'm punching my own dick, says Mr. Never Aim. And his buddy saying, don't jinx us. Right here, I'm not sure what I'm seeing, except for I'm seeing medium tanks going to the city. But medium tanks normally don't go to the city on this map. So it's a little bit jarring, but at the same time, you know what? We'll see how this pans out. I won't knock it quite yet. Never Aim doing quite a similar loadout to what I would do. Standard rounds, gold rounds, and then high explosive rounds. Maybe not in that order per se, but he has a little bit of everything. And you know what? That's good. Because you want those gold, you want those premium rounds for when those moments of I absolutely, positively need to kill this tank. I need to get out damage because if I don't, we will lose this. For those clutch moments where you absolutely need the damage to win. Right now, but most of the time you don't want to be running those all the time because you will be having very high repair bills and it won't really be contributing to your skill. If you're always relying on gold pen, you won't really know how to aim at enemy tanks properly for the more reliable penetrations. So, anyway, getting back to the game, the enemy team sending quite a bit of heavy tanks. This is what I'm used to seeing. Look at the map. All the enemy heavy tanks in the city, medium tanks further back and in the field. There's a heavy tank in the field, but you know what? He's an idiot, so let's not acknowledge him. Enemy medium tank, Batchat, no less, coming to the city and to try and support after seeing all the enemy medium tanks, mostly Never Aim's platoon, in the city doing their thing. Never Aim getting a few shots off for damage so far, suffering no damage whatsoever. The Object 140 there, his platoon mate, doing a good job of just staying hull down, abusing that surprisingly thick turret armor, taking a shot through both tracks, but for no damage. I'm not even sure how that happens, how a shell flies through your tank, damaging both tracks, but your tank itself is perfectly fine. I don't understand that, but you know what? If I was Never Aim, I would not be questioning it. He does not want to drive in front of that E100 because it does have that 150. Aiming for the underplate, but still bouncing just due to the angle of how much his gun was depressed. The enemy E100 certainly in a bad spot, but he's gonna instead, well, I was gonna say he should have shot the waffle, but I guess he's just assigned to ram it, managing to get the kill from his teammate. And by that I mean his teammate managing to kill it for him because his ram was not quite enough. The enemy team having completely lost city at this point. This IS-7 really doesn't stand a chance. Trying to aim for the underplate, but instead decides to go for a track, I suppose. I don't think that was intentional, but the enemy IS-7 turning its side armor and taking damage because of it. You know, but the IS-7 really didn't have too much of a choice. He's trying to back up and regroup with his team in that little nook, in that little corner, I don't know what you'd call it, back in that little haven in the buildings, whatever you want to refer to it as. The enemy team pretty much losing considerably at this point, 6-3. Enemy IS-8 gonna start having a bad day right about now and realizing just how screwed over he is. The enemy team having a strong field presence, actually trying to capture Never Aim's base, but there's plenty of Never Aim's team down there to take on that. The enemy team, again, like I said, trying to capture his base. 6-5, not quite as definitively losing anymore. And Never Aim's team really should be trying to help him out here, but managing to get a kill without taking any more damage. Another enemy IS-7 just begging to be shot at right here. Completely broadside and will only get a shot on the tracks. Unfortunate. The enemy AMX 1390 trying to get in on the action, take on those two medium tanks, those two 140s. Gonna pay the price for that. That was a bold and probably pretty stupid move. This enemy IS-7 taking some considerable damage and only one shot away from death now, which Never Aim will so happily oblige him. 2 kills for everyone on his platoon at this point, and this Conqueror clearly next on Never Aim's hit list. There we go. Quite a bit of damage there. And the enemy team still, well, was previously trying to cap. At this point, they've pretty much lost that. Never Aim's platoon, ooh, one of his buddies dying, but still managing to get the kill. I'm trying to see how he died. The Batchat killed him, but then his other buddy Oh, they killed the Bat Chat and him killed each other. I'm not sure. It doesn't say they rammed. It doesn't say they crashed. I think it was kind of a ram and a mutual death in that respect. So, NeverAim having 3 kills, very smartly trying to use this IS-7 as cover, attempting to side scrape a little bit. I'm not sure how effective side scraping is going to be in something as light as this medium tank. But this enemy T-110E4, NeverAim probably shouldn't have stopped to shoot him there. He probably should have been trying to drive in front of him, but clearly the turret rotation speed not enough in any way. So, pretty much solid victory at this point. Very good city brawl. You don't have to punch your dick, says his teammate. Nope, 7k damage. Clearly he has a mod installed, which tells him how much damage he has before the match ends. I still have yet to install mods of any kind, but that's because I'm lazy. And I also like to make the excuse, playing the game vanilla makes me a more skilled player because I don't rely on those mods as a crutch, because what am I, a noob? I kid. I don't think anyone's a noob. Average 480 average damage. Is that what the average damage of his his high explosive shell? For a second I'm like, is that the average damage of his normal shell? That seems a little overpowered. Nope. High explosive. He will get kill number 4 right here. There we go. A very solid game. His teammates very effectively swarming everything in city. And really, his team in general, a very solid performance. A very well fought match by both teams. The enemy team and their attempt to capture his base wasn't necessarily mistaken, but it just didn't work out. NeverAim's team clearly anticipating that and just sending enough back to take care of it. But a 15-10 game, clearly a well fought battle. Excuse me. But anyway, let's go to the post-game stats and see just how much damage NeverAim actually did. And it's going to probably be 7k something considering he said that. But anyway, post-game stats anyway. Alright, here we go. Mastery Badge Ace Tanker. High caliber and Confederate. Kind of surprising he got Confederate considering he had 4 kills as well. But, I mean, just look at everything he hit. All the tanks. All of them. Like, total tanks, that's got to be, yeah, total of, what's that, 8 damaged and 4 killed? What? He had 4 kills, or did he not? Did he not kill that artillery? Oh, the artillery, clearly he didn't. I thought he killed the artillery. Just shows how much attention I was paying at the end of that match, right? Anyway, yes, there we go, 3 kills, okay, but still, very respectable, 7,229 damage in total. His teammates really not getting anywhere close to that. And his one teammate apparently lying a bit. He said 3,000 damage, but he was clearly rounding up. But, you know what, I'm not going to fault him for that. Enemy team, their best damage dealer was their artillery. That E4 coming in second, but overall, just very spread out among their team. That 1390 actually doing a surprising amount, more than their E100. That's kind of sad. And their IS-7s, holy. That is, just, I've got to shake my head at that. And at this point, without that BK4502 and the STB-1, you know, NeverAim and that guy, and, well, yeah, without those two, their team probably would have had a much, much, much harder time winning that match. The Conqueror really not being all too effective, but that's Artie for you. Artie is really hit or miss, and that was kind of punny, but I won't even try to go further into that. NeverAim, not even running any sort of premium here, so barely making profit because he did have an he had a large consumable. His ammo cost kind of expected for those higher damage rounds, those higher tier rounds, I suppose. And the fact that he did take that much damage. So, but overall, 27 shots fired, 25 direct hits, 21 of those being penetrations, which is why he did as much damage as he did. But still also getting quite a bit of damage due to his assistance, probably because of those tracks, like on that IS-7. And again, those tracks probably weren't intentional, but they happened anyway. So, all in all, helping him out. Experience, 1287, which would have been 1930 on a premium account. Kind of surprising to see that would have been Mastery Badge Ace Tanker. Normally, you have to get over 2,000 experience in a round, with premium, mind you, to get Mastery Badge Ace Tanker on those higher tiers. But I guess because it is tier 10 and nothing is higher tier than it, it's really hard for it to get experience. Because also keep in mind, where a lot of lower tier tanks get a good chunk of their experience is by killing higher tier vehicles. So if you're a tier 7 and you kill a few tier 9s, you're gonna get a lot of experience. Even if you kill a few tier 8s, you're gonna get a lot of experience because they're higher tier than you. If you're tier 10, well, nothing's bigger than you, so it's kind of a bit harder to earn experience. It's also harder to earn credits because it costs a lot to repair your vehicle and ammo isn't cheap. So tier 10 vehicles, not really money makers. You just get the benefit of always being top tier, and that's about it. They're good for clan wars. Not really good for money making. Although he would have made a decent amount of credits. Let's look at this. He would have made a decent amount of credits with premium. But this just goes to show how hard it is to make credits in a tier 10 tank. Like, even with his outstanding performance, he barely, by the skin of his teeth, made profit with a tier 10 tank without premium. So, something to keep in mind. But anyway, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you've got a replay, be sure to send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. I kind of forgot what I was saying there for a second. But also be sure, if you don't know how to do that, check the description below for instructions on how to submit. Until next time, this has been Spang, and I am signing off.